All right, I'm starting day 4. That's exactly what I thought. Okay, this is awesome. So first, I'm starting the day with the leftover coffee from yesterday.
3 eggs and a tray of just strips of beef.
I really overestimated breakfast. I thought I would eat the whole thing because I was really hungry. And I feel like I got about halfway and I'm pretty good. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm just so tired of meat because I'm not a meat lover that I'm like, I'm just okay. Alrighty, so update time on how I'm feeling. And there's a few things on my mind. My husband did ask me a good question last night, and so I thought I would share it with you. Before going on the carnivore diet, where did you feel about meat? Like, how much did you like it on a scale from 1 through 10? And even though I don't love meat, I really do like it, how it complements like veggies and different sides. And so I said like an 8, probably even a 9, depending on what kind of meat it is, if it's not super dry, but typically like an 8. So I don't love it, but I do really like it, again, with other things. And he's like, okay, now that you're on this for 3 days, how do you feel now about meat? And I was like, honestly, it's like a 3, maybe a 4. Like it's decreasing each day because I do like meat, but again, as a complement of other sides. And I really think I enjoy the veggies and the salads and all that. And so I'm noticing that I'm actually not really that big of a fan of meat. I can't imagine getting rid of it completely out of my life, but I am really getting tired of it. And this is what happened last time. I just really crave the veggies.
I still think it's one of the easiest diets to follow. Instead of having to track a bunch of things, this honestly takes almost no work.
So with that said, am I still continuing? For sure. I mean, I think the progress speaks a lot, where at least I'm taking off that extra pressure on my joints and everything. And so I know that this morning and yesterday morning, I woke up without swollen fingers and they weren't numb anymore. I usually wake up and they're like tingly. It's just such a weird feeling. And so it's nice to finally wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I could move my fingers without them being swollen, without my hands being tingly. So that's a good start. Hopefully this continues, of course. And then hopefully with time too, I'll just feel it more in my body. I usually get out of bed and my ankle from like twisted or whatever happened this summer, but every single time I'd wake up, I'd be like limping because it was still so achy, even though I did so many things to try to fix it. I was even in a boot for I don't remember how many weeks. But my point is that I have woken up yesterday and today and I wasn't limping at all. I was like, I know it's still there because depending on how I bend, it still hurts, but I can actually step on it without pain. So that has been really, really nice. So hopefully it continues. Hopefully, again, like back pain and everything will continue to like decrease because I am really enjoying the fact that it's starting off with very small results within, what is it? This is day 4. So honestly, within the first 3 days, I already started feeling the difference. So you might even be wondering why the carnivore diet? Why don't I choose a different one where I actually can eat veggies? And my question still stands even based on the last time where I thought the carnivore diet was absolutely crazy. And I gave it a try and sure enough, it worked well. My reasoning for choosing the carnivore versus the container method, keto, paleo. I mean, I could list so many things that I have attempted, sugar detox, all those things. They're all wonderful and great. And yes, they work as long as you stay underneath a certain amount of calories. But the reason I choose the carnivore is because having to feed another 6 people in our home, I really do not have the brain capacity to think, what am I feeding them? What am I making myself for dinner? I feel like this is the most brainless thing I can do to help me get back to where I was, to feel better. And then I already eat wholesome otherwise. And so I know that once I'm back to eating with the rest of the family, I know that I'm not going to be struggling, with a bunch of junk food because that's just not the way we typically eat. And so I know the food is there. I know my nutrition is great in terms of postpartum, but I'm still not like losing it. So I feel like I need that like boost regardless of which method I choose. So I think all these methods are great, but I just choose this one because it honestly is brainless. Like I just go to the store, I grab a few trays of meat and that's what I cook. Like I don't have to think, what am I making for dinner tonight for myself? I just think another tray of meat, or what am I making tomorrow morning for breakfast? I typically just resort to eggs. The only reason I switched it up this morning in terms of eggs with the steak is because I was like, the bacon has a lot of flavor and I do really enjoy eggs. And so I should kind of separate them. I really like bacon and I really like eggs. I should use my eggs with steak since I'm kind of getting sick of steak, and use my bacon maybe with like a pork chop for lunch or a beef patty, whatever I have. So if you're looking for a method that's completely brainless and honestly takes your level of effort from here to like nothing, then I would honestly just give the carnivore diet a try. There are people who do this as a lifestyle, which is impressive. It's not something I could do at all. I'm not even sure how healthy that is. But again, that's like, you can do your own research on it. I think temporarily for a certain amount of time, any of these ways of losing weight can work and can be totally fine on your body, but obviously consult a doctor as needed.
So as I'm wrapping up day 4, I am honestly just so done with meat that I'm just going to have some homemade broth that I made. Yes, it does have some vegetables inside, but they are all strained. And again, my goal is to make sure that I'm consistent and that what I do is actually manageable over the course of a few weeks, because I'm not sure how long I'll have to do this for. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for future videos.
That is heavenly.